Justin Simmons landing in Dallas is one of those moments that hits harder than the headlines make it sound. It changes the narrative instantly. You know his name: smart, instinctive, and a playmaker who doesn't just react. He anticipates. Right away, this is more than another signing. It's a statement that the Cowboys are serious about flipping a major switch on defense. Think about the simple, immediate effects. Quarterbacks now have to pause an extra beat when they scan the middle of the field. Route combinations that used to work 9 times out of 10 suddenly require a second look, and receivers have to account for a guy who sees the same film they do and then decides the play before it finishes. That kind of presence doesn't just show up in highlight reels. It shows up in the little things that win games. Smarter pre-snap adjustments, cleaner communication on coverage calls, and fewer blown assignments because someone else in the box is already reading the offense and helping teammates align correctly. From the fan side, the energy inside AT&T Stadium shifted as soon as the news broke. There's a confidence now that wasn't just hopeful. It's tangible. People online and in the stands started mapping out how this affects every matchup on the schedule, because Simmons isn't a one-dimensional upgrade. He's a chess piece. Coaches can scheme around him. Young defensive backs will study his habits and, more than anything, buy into a standard that has to be matched every single day. I don't want to oversell the magic. Football is still a team game. But let's be honest, adding a cerebral safety who can cover, tackle, and manufacture turnovers makes your defense smarter by default. It gives your corners room to trust coverages more. It lets your linebackers play more aggressively because they know the deep help is there, and it allows edge rushers to pin their ears back without fearing constant seam shots. That ripple effect is exactly why rivals will sleep worse at night, and why drafts and free agent plans suddenly get re-examined through a different lens. Now, quick check from you. In the comments, give this signing a score from 1 to 10 right now. How big is this move? And type yes or no. Do you think Simmons instantly makes our secondary elite? If you're liking this breakdown and want more deep dives, help us hit our goal of 16,000 subscribers by hitting subscribe and dropping a like. It really helps get these updates to more Cowboys fans. When you start to look at how Justin Simmons fits into this Dallas defense, it's not just about putting a new name on the roster. It's about unlocking an entirely new layer of play-calling flexibility. The Cowboys have built a defense that can fly around, that's fast and physical. But what they've needed is someone who ties all that athleticism together with intelligence and anticipation. That's where Simmons steps in. He's not just a safety who waits in the backfield for things to happen. He's the type who diagnoses a formation before the snap, points out what's coming, and forces quarterbacks to second-guess what they thought they knew about Dallas's coverage shells. That's a game-changer for a coordinator. Imagine the freedom now in disguise packages. Dallas can roll from single high to 2 deep at the last second, drop linebackers into false zones, and bait opposing quarterbacks into bad reads, because Simmons can cover that ground and communicate the shift in real time. That's not just theory. It's the sort of flexibility that has defined elite defenses for years. Think of how Ed Reed changed how Baltimore disguised coverage, or how Tyrann Mathieu forced quarterbacks to overthink checkdowns. Simmons brings that same level of versatility. One play, he's deep middle erasing a seam route. The next, he's creeping down into the slot to jump a quick slant. He's equally comfortable covering tight ends as he is helping on deep posts, which means the Cowboys can stay in base personnel more often without getting mismatched. That unpredictability makes this unit far harder to attack. There's also a domino effect on the front seven. When you trust your safeties, your linebackers can blitz more often, and your pass rushers can take riskier angles, knowing the coverage behind them is stable. A defense that used to react can now dictate. Simmons' field vision basically acts like an extra coach on the turf, constantly adjusting angles, calling out motion, and helping everyone else read the quarterback's eyes. You'll see the Cowboys' defense start to look less like 11 individuals and more like one collective brain, moving in sync, closing gaps faster, and making quarterbacks hesitate. Consider matchups. Against mobile quarterbacks, Simmons' ability to track and adjust in the open field helps neutralize scrambles and designed quarterback runs. Against pocket passers, his disguises force them into tighter windows and slower reads. So tell me in the IUA comments, if you were calling plays, would you use Simmons primarily as a roaming free safety, option A, or bring him down closer to the line as a hybrid enforcer, option B? Vote A or B, and let's see what Cowboys Nation wants. And again, if you haven't yet, hit subscribe to help push us toward 16,000 subscribers, and drop a like if you want more tactical breakdowns like this. When you zoom in on game day situations, that's where Justin Simmons' value truly explodes. It's one thing to talk about intelligence and coverage range, but it's another to understand how those traits directly change outcomes on third downs, in red zone stands, and in late-game pressure moments. The Cowboys have had stretches where their defense played solid for most of the game, but faltered in those critical drive-ending plays. The 3rd and 8 conversions, the red zone fade routes, the 2-minute drills where communication slips. That's exactly the type of moment Simmons was brought in to fix. He's not just another player filling a role. He's the guy who short-circuits an opponent's best option. Let's start with third downs, because that's where he can flip the field. Picture this. It's 3rd and 7. The opposing quarterback scans the field expecting a cover 2 look, but Simmons drops late into the box just as a linebacker peels out to the flat. Suddenly, what looked like an easy quick slant turns into a deflected pass, or worse for the offense, an interception. That split-second confusion, that hesitation, is all it takes to turn a conversion into a punt. That's the invisible impact Simmons brings. The plays that never even happen because the quarterback doesn't like what he sees. Now, in the red zone, everything happens faster, space disappears, and one false step can cost you 6 points. That's where Simmons' discipline and route recognition shine. He's been one of the most reliable safeties in the league at reading route stems, which is crucial near the goal line. Expect Dallas to use him aggressively, shading tight ends, jumping inside routes, and baiting quarterbacks into forcing throws that end up in defenders' hands. You might even see him used as a rover near the goal line, hovering between linebacker and safety depth to disrupt those quick RPO plays teams love to call inside the 10. Then, there's the turnover factor. The Cowboys have already built an identity around takeaways, but Simmons amplifies that to another level. He's not just looking to tackle, he's looking to manipulate passing angles. His interceptions come from anticipation and film study. When he jumps a route, it's because he's seen that formation a dozen times and knows exactly where the quarterback wants to go. Pair that with the aggressiveness of other playmakers in the secondary, and suddenly you have a unit that doesn't just hope for turnovers, it engineers them. And those late-game drives, when offenses go into hurry up and defenses usually get gassed, that's where Simmons's communication matters most. He's known for being vocal, calm, and precise under pressure. Having a player who can align everyone during the chaos of a 2-minute drill changes everything. It's the difference between giving up a field goal and closing out the game with a pick. Which game this season do you think Simmons' first big turnover will come in? Drop your prediction in the comments, and also tell me, will Simmons lead the team in takeaways by season's end? Yes or no? While you're there, make sure to subscribe and like to help the channel reach 16,000 subscribers so we can keep these breakdowns coming. Beyond the stats, the biggest impact Justin Simmons might have in Dallas won't show up on a scoreboard. It'll be in the locker room. Culture is one of those things fans can't always see, but players feel it every single day. It's the tone set in meetings, the effort level in film study, the way guys communicate when things get tough. And right now, that's where Simmons could become one of the most important additions the Cowboys have made in years. He's built a reputation for being one of the most disciplined and detail-oriented defenders in football. The way he prepares, breaking down tendencies, studying route combinations, reading quarterback habits. It's contagious. When a player of his caliber walks into a locker room, he automatically raises the bar. Younger defensive backs start taking notes differently. Veterans double down on their routines, and everyone suddenly realizes that excellence isn't optional anymore. It's the standard. That's exactly what Dallas has needed. The Cowboys have talent everywhere. Corners who can pick off passes, linebackers who can blitz, linemen who can wreck pockets. But consistency has been the missing ingredient. You bring in someone like Simmons, and he helps bridge that gap. He's not a loud, flashy leader. He's the kind who sets the tone through precision and accountability. When players see how serious he is about preparation, it changes how they approach practice. That can turn an already good defense into an elite one. Not just because of skill, but because of alignment in mindset. It also creates a ripple effect beyond the secondary. Linebackers benefit because communication improves. The front four plays faster because they trust what's behind them. And even coaches gain an extra set of eyes who sees the game the same way they do. You can bet this influence will shape Dallas's future decisions. 2. Which young players they develop, what type of personalities they prioritize in free agency, and how they structure leadership inside the locker room. Because when you have a player who embodies professionalism at the highest level, it becomes a blueprint for everyone else. So tell me, who do you think benefits most from Simmons' leadership? Tag the name in the comments and also give me a quick yes or no. Do you think Simmons will be named a captain this season? Don't forget to subscribe if you want more inside the locker room breakdowns and to help push Cowboys News TV to 16,000 subscribers. Now that Justin Simmons is officially part of the Dallas Cowboys, the big question becomes, what does this mean for the team's future? And how far can this move actually take them? Because when you step back and look at the bigger picture, this signing isn't just about plugging a hole in the secondary. It's about sending a message that the Cowboys are still in win-now mode. Despite all the uncertainty that surrounded this team in recent months, from contract talks to coaching changes, bringing in a veteran like Simmons shows the front office still believes this roster can compete right now. And let's be honest, that message matters, not just for fans but for players inside that locker room. It tells everyone from the pass rushers to the quarterback that the organization isn't giving up on chasing that elusive Lombardi trophy. Simmons' arrival also helps redefine the Cowboys' defensive identity heading into this new era. For years, Dallas has relied heavily on its pass rush to create chaos and force turnovers. But what they've often lacked is that dependable safety net, a true enforcer in the back end who can erase mistakes and bring order to the chaos. With Simmons, that changes overnight. His presence allows the corners to play with more confidence, the linebackers to take more risks, and the entire defense to operate with a higher level of trust. That trust is what championship-caliber defenses are built on. From a fan perspective, this is one of those rare signings that feels like a win on every level. You get leadership, production, and credibility, all in one player. And for those worried about how Simmons might adapt to the Cowboys system, elite players find ways to fit anywhere. His football IQ and adaptability are exactly what make him such a valuable piece. Expect him to thrive under a structured, aggressive scheme that rewards instinct and communication. So let's wrap this up with a few big-picture questions for you. Do you believe Justin Simmons finally gives Dallas the defensive backbone it's been missing in the postseason? Or do you think this move, while solid, still isn't enough to push them over the top? And here's the big one. What's your early prediction? Will the Cowboys have a top 3 defense in the NFL this season with Simmons on board? Tell me your pick in the comments, and make sure to like this video if you agree with the projection. If you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown, where we'll analyze how this signing could impact specific teammates' roles and the Cowboys' long-term cap strategy heading into 2026. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!